Hey y'all. Howdy. What's poppin', Jimbos? Bear the off or kind of weird setup. I accidentally left the tripod Webby gave me for my birthday at home, but have no fear, my parents are going to send it, so I'll have it soon. But basically, okay, I've been off for a while, but first things first, I have a video coming of Kirsty and I talking about, I don't know, it's just like a chill talk with her before she left for college, and obviously before I did too. I just haven't had a lot of time editing it. Well, I spent a lot of time editing it, and then I kind of ran out of time because I was trying really hard on it. So that'll be coming hopefully soon. I wanted to get this up because, I don't know, I just really wanted to talk about how my hiking experience was and how Dartmouth first year trips is and Dartmouth in general, and I'm gonna have a whole another separate video talking about me hiking and climbing Mount Moosilauke because it was just such an incredible experience, and I think it deserves a video to itself. Renee, if you're watching this is also for you because I know you'll be coming up here in a few weeks for your official visit, and hopefully you can get a really, I don't know, I guess sooner version of what I probably would already tell you when you came up here, but of Dartmouth. But this is gonna be a really chill video. Not really gonna be it's gonna be really OG, really old school video style for me, where I didn't really edit. I would edit but cut parts out or occasionally zoom in on my face, but really that's it. It's gonna be super chill or whatever. So anyways, I guess I should start with that I'm at Dartmouth now. Don't mind the background of my bed. Still decorating my dorm. Also, I'm trying to keep my voice down because the walls are kind of thin, and I don't want my neighbors, whom I haven't said hello to yet because I don't think they're all here yet though, I don't want them thinking that I'm crazy, so at least not yet. So trying to keep my voice down. I don't think they're actually in their dorms yet or right now, but I don't know though. So anyways, I'm at Dartmouth. I arrived in Lebanon on, what day was it? Monday the 2nd, and I moved in. I got my key and my ID at 8 o'clock, and then I moved in right after, and I had to report to Robo Hall, and for my first year trips at 2 o'clock. It was 2 to 4. I showed up at 2:30, and yeah, so thing online said that I was hiking 1 and that it was gonna be super chill and max 3 to 5 miles a day and a lot of breaks and super just laid back, and we were gonna stay in cabins and shelters and stuff. And so I thought, okay, yeah, that makes sense, we're hiking 1. So little did I know I would be in for a very different experience. So anyways, but it was nonetheless really fun. I want to make clear right now, I loved my first year trips. I loved hiking. I loved everything about it. I loved the people. I loved the trippies. I loved the TLs, the team leaders. I loved everything about it. I wouldn't trade this experience for the world. It was so amazing. But with every great experience comes difficulties. So the first like night, I guess. Like, so I got to Robo Hall at like 2:15. We spent the night in the indoor track, and then we woke up at 5:45, and then at 6 o'clock we were on the bus riding to where our like trails were. And so I think the problem with that first day, so that was Wednesday the 4th. The problem with that day was that it felt so long, and it like felt like it wasn't ever gonna end. Like, it felt like it took so long. And I think part of it was because we woke up at 5:45, and then we went to bed at like 10. And I don't know, it just felt like a really long time. I mean, while you're hiking. And so anyways, we got to our trail site, and our trail was, the place we were staying is called Trapper John's Shelter. And it's a shelter, except we're not allowed to sleep, at least for your first year trips. You're not allowed to sleep in the shelter if there's through hikers. You have to sleep in a tarp. And so I thought we were gonna sleep in a cabin, and then when I saw it was a shelter, I was like, okay, I guess we'll sleep in a shelter. For those of you who don't know what a shelter is, it's like a rectangular box like this, but like this front side that is like open, and then it has like the roof and everything. So it's kind of like a pavilion, but like enclosed, except like one side is open, is the best way I can describe it, I guess. You can probably look up Trapper John's Shelter, or I'll try to put it in maybe if I'm feeling like it. We're not allowed to sleep in that if there's through hikers, because most of the through hikers have been on the Appalachian Trail for like 5 months, like 4 to 6 months, and because they're hiking the entire trail. And so it's like only fair that we give them the shelter. So then I thought we were gonna be in a tent. No, we had a tarp. So, and it's just a tarp. Like, it's literally just a tarp. And we had that. So, but that whole day we didn't have through hikers. So we thought we were gonna be able to sleep in the shelter up until like literally the last moment. We were getting ready to go and like start cooking and everything. And then the through hiker came, and then like we had to give up the shelter. But I mean, it was fine. I'll get to that part in a second. But anyways, so the hike going up to Trapper John Shelter with our frame packs, even though like for hiking 1, our frame packs weren't heavy at all, because we were just carrying a few clothes and some other things we needed and food. Although the frame packs really weren't in theory that heavy, it was like, I don't know, it was only 0.5 miles. Like, it was only 0.5 miles from the base to where the shelter was. But because like the beginning was really steep, and maybe because it was also the first time I'd been hiking also with a frame pack, it felt so long and it was so hard. Like, I was like, that was like we got to like 0.3, and I was like, that was 0.3 miles. Like, what? Like, how? Like, I don't get that. Like, what? Does New Hampshire do miles like differently? Like, I don't understand. It was so hard. It was so hard. It was honestly so hard. And I mean, like, I'm a varsity athlete. I consider myself in shape, and I was like, I would think it would be fairly easy for me, and I was like really hurting. And then we had there was also a guy who was recruited on the track team for a sprinter, and he was like, yeah, like, my calves are dying. And I was like, good to know, I'm not the only one. But so anyways, we get to the Trapper John Shelter, and because we're hiking 1, we're allowed to like not hike with frame packs if we don't want to. So we took off our frame packs, and then we were just like, unless we had to take them to travel them to get to somewhere, we like wouldn't hike with them. So anyways, we get to the shelter, and it's like we're like pretty hungry, and the place where we're gonna eat lunch is called Holt's Ledge, and we had to like hike upwards up another trail aside from the one we were on. And so we started hiking that, and that one didn't feel too bad, but like overall that day felt super long, and we didn't hike that much, but it hurt so badly. But also I think that had to do in part because we woke up early and because it was like my first time. Anyways, Holt's Ledge, I'll try to put some pictures on it. It's so beautiful. We were sitting in this like little like stone area that like was just like the perfect place to like see all of like the mountains, and we weren't anywhere close to the top, but like it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And we were eating lunch, and then it started to rain really badly, and we had to stop eating lunch, and we went into the trees. And because the trees are so tall and like so many of them here, it like caught all the rain. So it was raining really hard, but like we couldn't feel it. So that was really cool. And then also because we're hiking one, we're super chill. So for the rest of the day, we were just playing like cards or like different like spelling games. And when I say spelling games, that makes us sound like nerds, but they're fun. And Werewolf, if any of you have played Mafia, Werewolf is just like a more intense version of Mafia. So we were playing that. And then the thru hiker came, and then we had to like set up our tarp. So we put like our sleeping pads there, and then our sleeping bags like over the sleeping pads, and we all like squeezed together. So it's like 10 people under this one tarp, and so like obviously like one person on each end like wasn't really under the tarp because there was no room. We were all packed together. And my trip leaders was Sloan, who was a senior, she's a girl, and Julian, who's a guy, and he's a sophomore this year, but he served in the Singaporean military for 2 years, so he's a super humble dude. So cool, right? Like, shout out Julian if you're watching this. I told him about my YouTube channel, but I didn't tell them the name. But like, if you ever find this, Julian, you're such a beast. Like, he's so humble, but like he's such a beast. Like, he's literally a god. Like, I'll explain that, especially in the Mount Musalek story time. I'll explain like how he's like actually a god, but like he is so just like he's such a badass, but like so sweet, like one of the sweetest people I've ever met, and so humble. Like, he's so cool. So anyways, Julian has a lot of stories, being as he served in the Singaporean military for 2 years. And so while we were all crammed together in this tarp, he was like, I'll tell a scary ghost story, one that like I found out when I was in the military. And so he was telling this ghost story, and it really wasn't that scary. Like, it wasn't scary, but the winds started to pick up towards the end of the story. And so there was a privy in our campsite. And for those of you who don't know what a privy is, it's like an outdoor house. The winds were so strong that it like had opened the outdoor house and like slammed it, but it made this like really like low like noise. It was like grrr like noise. I don't know how to describe it, but like in the heat of the moment it sounded like it could have been a bear. And we were in bear country, like there's bears there. And like we had to hang up like bear traps. Like we had to like pull our food in these like trash bags with rope, and like try to hang them as high as we could on trees. I'll try to insert some pictures, but because bears will get to it and sniff it out, but you know. So as soon as he stops telling the story, this noise happens, and like it sounded like it came off like from a different direction and like fairly faint, but everyone was like shh, shh, shh. Like everyone was freaking out and being like be quiet, because like we couldn't, like we wanted to hear if the noise was going to come again. And like, yes, I know, I told my dad the story, and he was like, Christina, that you're not supposed to be quiet when you like think there's a bear around. You have to be like stand tall and like make a lot of noise and scare it. And I was like, okay, but like we didn't know what the noise was, so we wanted to make sure. And then after a while we realized that it was the same noise repeating and it was too consistent to be an animal. And then we realized like, oh, it's probably the privy door. But that happened the first night. And then we woke up the next day at around like 8 o'clock, I think. And we ate some breakfast, and then we climbed back down Trapper John's Shelter Trail, Trapper John Trail, I think it is. I don't know, part of the AT. And so we go down, and then we have to hike this really long road to get to the mountain that we were going to hike. And so it's called Smarts Mountain, and we hiked, I think, maybe halfway, maybe a little bit over, but we got to this part where it was just all rocks, and I'll try to see if I can find a picture, and it's just super beautiful. Like, you can see the lake from where it is, and it's just this really, really beautiful scene, and it's really hard to climb, especially with the rocks, but it's just so beautiful. And we were just all sitting together eating lunch and playing hot seat, and like, which is just like asking a bunch of random questions, and like super random too. Like, some of them were super deep, and some of them were just like, which limb would you prefer to not live without? And like super weird, but really fun. Yeah, and so that was that. And then so that day we hiked in total, I think like 8 or 9 miles in total, because we didn't have like a bus to take us to our like trail site to get to Smarts. We walked everywhere. So it was a lot. It took us the whole day. So then, oh, also I forgot to mention, the other day, the day before, we had cooked dinner, and we decided that we wanted to do like a Chopped episode. So we split off into like 2 teams, and so we were making macaroni and cheese, and it was like, you know, like who could like plate it the best or make it taste the best and all this other stuff. I mean, I don't want to brag, but like my team won the taste category, and I did like cook the mac and cheese, so you know, that's that. The other team won in like appearance wise, but they didn't win taste, so in my eyes I won in total. But I'm just kidding. It was really fun though. It was really, really fun. And then obviously our trip leaders like Julian and Sloan were like the judges and everything, and it was so much fun. So anyways, flash forward now, back to the next day, after we had like hiked Smarts and came back to the trail or shelter place we were at. More hikers were there, more through hikers, so we couldn't sleep in the shelter again. But at this point we all kind of liked the tarp better. Like, to be honest, I liked the tarp better than the shelter. Like, the shelter seemed really like, I don't know, just like sus, but I don't know, the tarp was the tarp, right? So that day a mouse had like started like crawling back and forth into it before we had gone to travel Smarts. And so then I guess Julian or somebody looked in it and was like, oh, it's gone, or like it'll be gone by the time we're back from hiking Smarts. So we come back from Smarts and we're playing games and we ate burritos and it was fun, and then soon enough it was like time to go to bed, and Divya was like, oh, like, are you sure the mouse is gone? And then even me, like, everyone was like, yeah, like, it has to be gone. So we crawl inside the tarp, and Divya lays her sleeping bag down, and right next to, like, her sleeping pad is the mouse, and it, like, scurries out, obviously, and I don't know where it went, but it was so freaky. Like, everyone was like, oh my god, like, but it was, like, so, like, I don't know, it was, like, everyone was like, what the heck, like, but yeah, it was really fun still. Julian told another scary story, but there were no heavy winds blowing that night. And the second day went by really fast. Even though we hiked like 8-ish miles and it was really hard, like my feet and my calves were burning, the day went by really fast. And so then on the third day, we hiked down the ski slopes. Yeah, ski slopes. And the bus picked us up and took us to the ski lodge. And so we spent the day there, just like doing activities. We composted, we danced a lot. Dartmouth is just so amazing. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like Dartmouth is so incredibly amazing. And I know I said this before and I've told other people this, but a lot of people on my recruiting trip had told me that Dartmouth is like a cult, and that a lot of the alumni, and not even a lot, like all of the alumni and all of the students are just so like, Dartmouth, like go Big Green, like, right? And like everyone and all the other Ivies and even the students themselves and the alumni say it's like a cult. And I didn't really understand it at the time, and I thought it just meant we had a lot of school pride, which, yeah, we do. But I was like, I didn't understand why it was any different from any other school. But after being on trips, I realized, like, how Dartmouth is just so much more different. At least, I mean, obviously I'm biased because I love my school and everything, but we're a cult. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, but like, everyone is just so welcoming and like wants you to know that like you are here for a reason, and like you are so welcomed and everyone has your back and everyone loves you. And it's like, I wish I could like put my memories out into the world. Like I wish I could like like in that Black Mirror episode where your memory is like a chip and like somebody else could take that chip and like view your memories or something. I wish I could do that for you guys. I wish you could have seen what I saw, because you would just understand where I'm coming from. Like everyone is like singing for you and dancing for you and like trying to make you laugh and like trying to make sure like you're having fun. And it's like literally everything that these volunteers were doing, everything that happened on these trips were volunteers. They weren't getting paid. They weren't, like, this was all them. And everything they did was for the 23s. And just because they wanted to pass on the tradition, it's so insane. Like, it's so insane how caring everyone is at this school. And so anyways, it involves a lot of dancing, a lot of like tradition, like, I don't know, it's like tradition. And we have the Dartmouth alma mater, which is, for those of you who don't know, the Dartmouth alma mater is basically the national anthem to Dartmouth. And it's very culty, but I love it. It's sweet though. It's really sweet. It talks about like Dartmouth and like how, you know, Dartmouth is always going to be with you, and how like this, like one of the lines is like, it's like, and the granite of New Hampshire, something. I don't know how it goes. But it's saying how like New Hampshire is like literally gonna be with you until the day you die. Like you are a part of this school, and it's so incredible. Like it's so amazing, and it's just so amazing. I love the school so much, but it's very culty, and I understand now why alumni constantly want to be a part of Dartmouth and constantly want to give back and constantly are trying to like reach out to Dartmouth students and like get them to just be successful, and like why Dartmouth students are so incredibly kind and sweet and open and caring to like new students, because it's a tradition, it's a tradition of like lifting others up, and it's a cult, and it's an amazing cult, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. I love it so much. I already have part of the Dartmouth alma mater memorized because we said it so many times already, and some of the funky dances to like 2010 songs, and it's so funny and it's so amazing, and it's just an experience that I hope a lot of people get to have, because whether you're going to Dartmouth or not, but it's so like, the other night we had a professor talk to us about his Dartmouth Moment, and there's a thing obviously called the Dartmouth Moment, and it's when you realize that you're a part of something way bigger than yourself, and you're a part of something way bigger than what you think you are, and that you are more important than what you think you are to everyone. And it was super, super moving and super touching, and it's just insane, like the lengths that everyone will go to at the school to make sure that you feel included and to make sure that you're like happy. And I just like it I knew that going in, but I didn't know it to this degree. Like I didn't know it until I went on my trips, and then it's like I know it now. And you can have more than one Dartmouth moment. I know for sure one of my Dartmouth moments as of right now was being at the peak of Mount Moosilauke with a few of my other chippies and watching the sunrise at the Sunrike. And I'll explain it more when I'm in that other video, but I don't know how to explain it, but like this school is so small, but like so big, and like everyone is just so kind, and it's like insane. Like I don't know, I didn't lock my door a single time today. I don't feel the need to lock my door. Everyone is so kind. I mean, like when I change I lock my door, but like when I leave I don't lock my door. Like when I'm just chilling in my room, my door's open because I want people to come inside and they're cool. But I don't know, like, and nobody takes anything. Everyone's so kind and everyone's so sweet, and like I know it's hard to believe, and like a lot of people, when I told them that last year when I went on my official and I came back and I told them like, oh, my roommates don't even lock their dorm, a lot of people were like, that's unsafe, like it doesn't matter where you are, like da da da. But like truly, like this campus is so incredibly safe. Like it's like I wish people could experience it. Like I wish everyone could like see what I see, because it's so amazing, and like everyone is just amazing, It's so easy to just be friends because everyone's so kind. And I don't know, everyone is just amazing. But yeah, that's what first year trips taught me. First year trips taught me like that my love for the school ran so much deeper than I thought it ever could, and I know it's only gonna grow as I continue, because I haven't even started school yet, and like it's insane how that's how much of an impact Dartmouth has on its students. Like we haven't even started school yet, and yet everyone is just already so like, Dartmouth, like go big green, like we're in a cult, yeah baby, like we're gonna memorize the Dartmouth alma mater, and we're so gonna learn the salty dog and like all this other stuff, and like it's amazing. Like it's unlike anything I've ever been a part of. Like I've never been a part of a cult, and like now I am. No, but like it's really truly something that's like irreplaceable. Like I wouldn't trade my trip's experience for the world. Even though the first day sucked, all the other days made up for that 100%. And then climbing and hiking Mount Moosilauke was just euphoric. Like, it was a different journey. Like, it's hard to explain, but I'll explain it in the other video, because that's a video on its whole self. But yeah, that's just what I want to say, is my first year trip's experience and how I'm doing at Dartmouth, and like what Dartmouth's like, and just, you know, I've been here for 5 days, almost, yeah, 6, because I'm filming this at like midnight. So I've been here for like almost 6 days, and it's insane how already a part of like a central system I feel. Like, it's already insane how much I feel like I'm already part of like such a central system, and like how I already feel like, yeah, like this is where I belong, and like I don't know, like it's really hard to explain. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel this way when they're going to their colleges, because you choose your college for a reason. But I don't know, it's just like, I don't know how to describe it. But like I said, I wish I could show you guys like what I experienced in the last 5 days, because, you know, I know everyone is probably like laughing at me right now and being like, you were gone for 5 days. Like, what do you mean? Like, you experienced stuff? Like, what? But like, it's true. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, and like no other trippy knows how to describe it. Like, I was talking to Chen, like I was talking to Jen, who was also on my trip, and she was like, yeah, like when I went on Dimensions, they did a lot of flash mobs, because at Dartmouth they do a lot of flash mobs, like a lot of dancing and a lot of like taking like old 2000 songs and like rewriting them to like be for the 23s or like for whatever. And so she was like, yeah, like I tried telling my mom and like my friends about it, and they just like thought I was crazy. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, this makes no sense. Like, okay, there was a flash mob at your college, but like it's true. Like, it's like insane the lengths that like Dartmouth students will go to like make everyone happy, because truly, like, when everyone else is happy, like, I don't know, when other people are happy, everyone is literally happy at this college. Like, it's insane. And yeah, I feel what Jen was saying. Like, it doesn't make sense, and I sound crazy when I'm saying it, but like I wish you guys could look at my memories and like see everything, because it was just so like encompassing, and it was just so much bigger than anything I thought it would be. Like, I didn't think it would be like this. Like, I thought it was just like a camping trip, and you know, which it was just a camping trip. At the end of the day, it was just a camping trip. But like, the Dartmouth students, and whether that be the 23s that I was with or the 20s, which is like the seniors, you know, from freshmen to seniors, from freshmen to seniors, everyone just made it so much more than just a camping trip. For a reason. Like, that's why Dartmouth does this. You know, Dartmouth does this so people know what they're getting into, so they know, like, you know, you have to be all in at this college, because everyone is all in. Like, everyone is so in that it's like, if you're not going to, you shouldn't be at the college, you know? And it's just so amazing. It's so amazing. And, you know, first year trips was a blast. And shout out to, I know they're probably not watching this, because I did not, I told them I had a YouTube channel, but I did not plug the name. But shout out to Jen. If you're watching this, you are my home dog. Literally, I cannot dance the salty dog with anybody else, because we are the best partners for it. Divya, you are the sweetest person. So sweet. Sorry I said Dinya this morning. I am not Anders, trust me. On that note, Anders, you are like probably one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. Like, you are so funny and so like ironically funny. Like, you don't even have to try. Hayden, you're just a bro. Like, you're a snake, but you're a bro. Me, I wouldn't have done the Sunrike had you not done it either. I needed you to be there, and you help push me through a lot of those hikes. You're a real one. You're a real one. Cade, you know, you're also a varsity athlete, varsity student athlete like I am. So, you know the struggle. It's gonna be a real one. And, you know, I'll watch your track meets if you watch a swim meet. And then obviously Julian and Sloan, my trip leaders, were just like the best trip leaders of all time, like literally the best. So amazing. So amazing. Oh, I almost forgot Ari. Ari, you are also ironically funny, because like you also don't have to try. And also the conversation we had on the bus ride back was super soothing and calming and pleasant. Just talking about like houses in California and how they're different from New Hampshire, or New England also. So that was nice. But yeah, everyone, y'all rocked. It was awesome. You made my trips experience one that I will forever remember. I won't forget this ever. It was so, I don't know, like it was very soul touching is the word I can say. And yeah, for anyone who is considering Dartmouth, Renee, or anybody else, super amazing, and you won't ever feel out of place. You'll find your people, and you'll find your home, and it's amazing. And do first year trips. Do it. You don't want to miss it. And it's super rewarding, and it allows you to see the bigger picture quicker. So anyways, this was a long one. I'll probably tell my hiking of Mount Moosilauke tomorrow morning. And with that, deuces.